We all have our own beliefs about how life began, but whether you open a religious textbook or a physics reading, we can all agree that first there was light and then there was life. Many, many years later, we now have the technology to use that very light to measure life. The light that we are using is infrared light, which sits on the electromagnetic spectrum next to visible light, which is what we can see. Infrared light allows us to look through our skin and scalp as if it were invisible, to look directly at our blood vessels. This is important because it means that we can measure different substances in our blood, including blood oxygen levels. Our brain cells, or neurons, need oxygen in order to send brain signals. That means that the more oxygen we see, the more brain activity. More than this technology allows us to see where this activity is happening and what is going on there. Since different parts of our brains have different roles, we can see exactly what kind of thinking and processing is happening. This technology is near-infrared spectroscopy and can be huge for neuropsychology research in South Africa. The infrared spectroscopy equipment used is way more transportable than MRI and EEG machines that we see in Grey's Anatomy that do a similar thing. The equipment is literally just a little cap that sits on your head with lights and detectors that connects to your computer via Bluetooth and is then ready to pair. The computer software then converts the oxygenation levels into brain imaging. It's as simple as that, and it fits in a laptop bag. This physical transportability and accessibility is very important for South Africa, where not everyone has a hospital down the road with big fancy machinery. But I think there's something even more important to this technology. It's also way more easier to explain that you're using light to look at someone's blood than to try and explain electromagnets and machines and the McSteamy and McDreamy drama. South Africa has low literacy rates, and this directly correlates to our ability to understand the world around us. Lots of researchers are concerned that this means that informed consent to medical procedures is not actually informed enough. No one is taking the time to explain these procedures to people, and they don't actually know what is going on. This technology could bridge that. My research is simply then a pilot study in using infrared spectroscopy to measure brain activity. It's been done for many years all over the world, but not in South Africa. I'm just using a simple statistics test and looking at the maths part of our brain to see if this technology can be done, and then further that it should be done. Life began with light, and it's about time that South Africa gets the chance to use light to grapple with life.